गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की, इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की, नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada की जय। Hare Krishna. So welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting the verse from Canto 4, Chapter 6, the title Brahma Satisfies Lord Shiva, and the text number 43. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 43. Please repeat with me. Tvameva Bhagavan etat Shiva Sakyo Swarupayo Vishvam Srujasi Pasi Atsi Kridan Urna Patoyata. Tvameva Bhagavan etak Shiva Sakyo Swarupayo Vishvam Srujasi Pasi Atsi Kridan Urna Patoyata. Tvameva Bhagavan etat Shiva Sakyo Swarupayo Vishvam Srujasi Pasi Atsi Kridan Urna Patoyata. Tvameva Bhagavan etat Shiva Sakyo Swarupayo Vishvam Srujasi Pasi Atsi Kridan Urna Patoyata. Tvameva Bhagavan etat Shiva Sakyo Swarupayo Vishvam Srujasi Pasi Atsi Anurna Patoyata. Tvameva Bhagavan etat Shiva Sakyo Swarupayo Vishvam Srujasi Pasi Atsi Kridan Urna Patoyata. Tvameva Bhagavan etat Shiva Sakyo Swarupayo Vishvam Srujasi Pasi Atsi Kridan Urna Patoyata. Tvameva Bhagavan etat Shiva Sakyo Swarupayo Vishvam Srujasi Pasi Atsi Kridan Urna Patoyata. Okay. What two word meaning? Tvam, you, eva, certainly, Bagavan, O my Lord, etat, this, Shiva Shaktyo, being situated in your auspicious energy, Swarupayo, by your personal expansion, Vishwam, this universe, Srajasi, create, Pasi, maintain, Atsi, annihilate, Kridan, working, Urnapata, spider's web, Yata, just like. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Please repeat with me. You create this cosmic manifestation, maintain it, and annihilate it by expansion of your personality, exactly as spider creates, maintains, and winds up its web. Purport. Please listen. In this verse, the word Shiva Shakti is significant. Shiva means auspicious and Shakti means energy. There are many types of energies of Supreme Lord and all of them are auspicious. Brahma, Vishnu and Mahashwara are all called Gunavataras or incarnation of material qualities. In the material world, we compare these different incarnations from different angles of vision. But since all of them are expansion of Supreme Auspicious, all of them are auspicious. Although sometimes we consider one quality of nature to be higher or lower than another, the mode of ignorance or tamoguna is considered very much lower than the others. But in the higher sense, it is also auspicious. The example may be given here in that the government has both an educational department and criminal department. An outsider may consider the criminal department is inauspicious, but from the government's point of view, it is important as education department, and therefore the government finances both departments equally without discrimination. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vikakanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Krupa Sindobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Welcome once again. So we are continuing the Canto 4 and Chapter 6. The title Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva. So we all know the context of this verse. If we try to recap the previous verses. So all the Brahma, headed by Brahma, all the demigods visited Kailash to pacify, to please Lord Shiva. Because Lord Shiva got angry when Mother Sati committed suicide. After that, Virabhadra came, destroyed so many, all killed many other Daksha's followers and Daksha. And now after when the Shiva went back to Kailash, now the Brahma and all the demigods went there to please Lord Shiva. And we saw many verses previously, they describing beautiful Kailash abode. So now in the last few verses, Brahma is praying Lord Shiva and is trying to please Lord Shiva. So in this context, today's verse also, we can see the Brahma's prayers. What is it? My dear Lord, you create this cosmic manifestation, maintain it and annihilate it by expansion of your personality, exactly as a spider creates, maintain and winds up its web. So Brahma is praising him as your Supreme Lord, you create, maintain and annihilate everything. So if you see if you see the title of the chapter, Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva, this word title itself gives some instructions to us, right? How we can please Lord Shiva. Why we need to please Lord Shiva? Because Shiva is easily satisfied by any devotee and we can get all the material desires. That should not be our purpose. The instructions from this chapter we can take to please Lord Shiva so that we can grow in our bhakti, we can grow in our devotion. With that mind, we can take all the instructions from this chapter. And another thing is the purport. Prabhupada was mentioning Shiva Shakti. So when I hear the word Shiva Shakti, recently I recollected one of the Shiva Shakti word used came in the news. Not recently, but almost 6-7 months back. Any idea? It's from, not from the Australian media, but from the Indian media it came. Yes. So Indian ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, they sent some robo to the moon. They said so-called moon. We are not going into the details whether it is a moon or not, but yeah, as per their scientific thing, they sent some rocket and some rover, the robo to the moon. The place where they landed, the moon. Whenever any country lands on any different outer space planets, the point which they will put as per their country's tradition or in. So they named the point where that the rover Pragyan, its name, and that lander is there, Vikram, both landed the point. They named the point as Shiva Shakti. That was the name given to that point, Shiva Shakti. So though it is not directly related, but we can see that in our tradition, still we consider the Shiva's energy, how people being used, and the government is also using in a different context. There is no direct connection, but when I see Shiva Shakti, I recollected that point, so just I thought of sharing. So that was a Shiva, that point name where it is landed, they named it as a Shiva Shakti, the energy of Lord Shiva. That's the thing. And next, when we come to this verse, it is mentioned, Brahma is playing it as a Lord. You are the very Lord, you are the Lord. And same Brahma, in Brahma Samhita, he mentioned Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha. Krishna is Parama Ishwar, he was mentioning. And here he is mentioning, you are the Bagavan. And we can also see in Srimad Bhagavatam also, Ete Chamsa Kalapamsha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Even Bhagavatam also saying Krishna is the Bhagavan. Even Parashara Muni, I think it was in Vishnu Puran, mentioned, defined Bhagavan. Right? So he defined Bhagavan, what are the 6 qualities of Bhagavan and who is Bhagavan. He is mentioning. So he is also referring to Vishnu, Krishna. So all the scriptures, great sages, even Brahma himself mentioned Krishna is the Bhagavan. Now in this verse, he himself is saying you are Bhagavan. So what is this mean? What is both are Bhagavans? It creates confusion, right? Not only that, in the digital media, in the current so-called Facebook and Twitter, all the things, what sometimes people does, they take a very big video, they will cut few important clips from there and they will send it. And that itself gives the incorrect meaning. So without knowing the pre-context and the subsequent things, they will take few words from particular video or some section of the material book and they will publish and they will make it as a big thing. Okay, this book is saying like this or this person is saying, and they will create all the controversies. Same thing can happen. People can take just this verse and come to you. See, Bhagavatam is saying Shiva is Bhagavan. why you, then we can, then we should refute this. We should have idea and knowledge to refute why, in which context, what is this. We need to understand the deeper meaning of this verse. See, in what context Brahma is saying Bhagavan, right? So, otherwise people will say, they can come and argue with that. Okay, you say Krishna is Bhagavan, but this verse is saying Shiva is Bhagavan. So, if you have to convince him properly, you should understand in which context Lord Shiva, this Brahma is glorifying Shiva as Bhagavan. That is one of the important thing we have to. So, if we have to understand Krishna, we have to understand Krishna in Tattva. Like, so okay, we have Radha Gopinath, is a Sambandha deity through which we are praising and worshipping Krishna and the Supreme Lord. But we need to understand Krishna in Tattvata. Like example, we have a verse in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma karma chime divyam evam vyo veti tattvata chaktva deham punarjanma naitimam etiso arjuna. Right? Janma karma chime divyam evam vyo veti tattvata. Knowing in Tattva. So understanding Krishna in Tattva is important. That will give us knowledge. That will give us the all right intelligence to differentiate who is Krishna, who is Lord Shiva, what is the relation, who is Bhagavan, who is not Bhagavan. When we understand Krishna in Tattva, we can. Like example, Tattva means, in a 4.9 Prabhupada clearly mentioned, straightforward meaning. Tattva means in reality. That was the meaning Prabhupada mentioned. So, same thing, we can direct meaning it. So, in reality, what exactly Krishna? Who is Krishna? So, that is the understanding. In another example, we can material example, Tattva. Knowing in by Tattva means what? Like, if we take an example, many Acharya, many seniors Vaishnavas quoted this example. Like, sugar is there. Sugar by nature, it is sweet. Wherever you mix it with other items, the sweetness will be there. Sugar sweetness you can easily have. Similarly, if you cannot change its nature, sugar is always sweet, right? And salt is there, same thing. Salt, it's salty. Wherever you mix it, wherever you put it, it affects all the things. If you mix it in water will become salty. If you mix it in any food, it will become salty, right? That is the tattva of salt. So, you can't change things. Similarly, tattva of Krishna, we need to understand Krishna's tattva, it will not change, it always remain same. Let's take few points from various Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam scriptures points to understand Krishna in Tattvata. Right? So in Brahma Samhita, Krishna mentioned, right? Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadi, Ananda Rupam. Right? So Ananta Rupam. What does it mean? Krishna in the Brahma is saying that Krishna has many transcendental forms. But for all these forms, coming from main Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the original form. All other forms are coming from the same form. That is way we can understand one way of, like we can see many forms of Krishna in many incarnations. Ram, Krishna, Ram, Narsimha, Varaha, anything. But what we can see, Krishna has many forms, but the Moola form, the source of all the forms is Krishna. That is how we can understand one of the aspect of Krishna, understanding Krishna in Tattvata. And next one. Supreme Personality of Godhead is eternally engaged in many transcendental forms according to mood of the various devotees. Depending on the devotee's mood, he will appear in different incarnations. Again, like we see, Narsingadev appeared for Prahlad Maharaj and Ram for the Hanuman in Dasya Bhava, right? So, depending on the mood of the devotee to please the devotee, he appear in different forms. Even though Ram is there, Narsingadev is there, but Mool form is coming from Krishna is the Supreme Lord. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord among all the devoted gods. So that is how we always keep that in our mind when we are worshipping Ram, when we are worshipping Hanuman or Narsingadev, but we need to consider this aspect. This is what the Tattva, understanding Krishna in Tattva. And all the incarnations of the Lord, including Lord himself, descend to different planets and into different species. Not only like Ram is a human form, but Narsingadev, half man, half lion, Matsyavatar, Kurma avatar, right? Varahata. These are all various forms of Lord. But he is in different, not in human form, it in different species. So Krishna can come in any form as per the depending on the place, whatever pastime he wanted to perform according to the need of the time, he will appear in different forms. So this is another aspect of understanding Krishna in Tattvata. So first one is Krishna is the Supreme Lord and all other forms are coming from Krishna. Depending on the devotee's mood, Krishna appears in different forms, and depending the need of time, Krishna appears in different planets and different species. This is what understanding Krishna in Tattvata. And another form is like this a few minutes back mentioned and discussed. The Krishna is Bagavan, original. Like he will possess all 6 bhagas. Like what are the beauty, wealth, fame, strength, knowledge, and renunciation. These are the 6 qualities in full Krishna will always have. Now, but when the Krishna incarnates, there are different forms coming. Each form may not have all this. It depending on the situation. Some qualities may be in full. Some qualities will be in full, but not all qualities may not have all the forms. So that is what we have to understand. And Jiva Goswami also mentioned that Lord Krishna is source of all incarnations. He is the source of all incarnations, Krishna. Like any form, we see in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many incarnations of Krishna. All incarnations coming from Krishna. And not only that, there is no one above Krishna. There is no source for Krishna. This is also one of the important points when we are trying to understand Krishna. Krishna is source of all incarnations, but there is no source for Krishna. And that is why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is mentioning that there is no truth greater than me or above, equal to me, right? So Krishna is mentioning. So with all these understandings, we can say, we'll try to understand Krishna in Tattvata, knowing Krishna. These are this is what, if we know who is Krishna, these are all the things we need to keep in our mind so that we understand Krishna's position, we can understand Krishna's supremacy, right? So one example I will remember, this is all philosophical aspects, right? So when we understand one example, it means it's a real incident with one of the sannyasis, right? His example. So when we say the example 4.9, the verse point, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, right? But the realization, how great sannyasis, Vaishnavas realize this aspect, apply in the realization means they will understand, they will apply in our life. One example I was quoting is His Grace Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj. He was in Bhubaneswar. Generally he gives lectures. He was giving long lectures. Then devotees were saying that, Maharaj, people were attending, but not everybody was, because of various reasons, not everybody was able to sit for long hours, 4 to 5 hours. Then, so after some time, then some devotees told, Maharaj, this lecture is going for 4 to 5 hours. We are unable to spend time. Then Maharaj told, I am not speaking. Krishna inside my heart is speaking. Should I tell Krishna to stop? So that is the Maharaj realization. So the activity, the speaking of Bhagavatam is the activity. It is a transcendental. Krishna is performing. That is the realization the Maharaj is exhibiting, right? So we can, like when we speak something, suppose this mic is, you are all hearing this Bhagavatam from this mic, right? We cannot say this mic is speaking, right? Someone behind the mic is speaking. Your same thing when we say Krishna's appearance and activities are transcendental, which means we can understand activities are innumerable activities are there. So speaking Bhagavatam also, we should not feel that I am speaking. Krishna inside us speaking. That's it. So Maharaj was saying that was his realization, right? When we say Janma Karma, all the Krishna's activities and past appearance is transcendental, we understand the knowledge. But see, we can see in Maharaj example, his realization. Krishna is speaking, should I tell Krishna to stop? Right? That was his realization. So this is the understanding Krishna in Tattvata. Right? When we understand Krishna in Tattva means this is one example we can see. So Krishna is, Brahma is saying Bagavan. Now we try to understand this as well from this Tattvata, using this Tattva information. Right? So Krishna, there are 6 different types of incarnations, right? Krishna, categories, I can say. One is Purushavasaras, Leelavatara, Gunavatara, Manvantaravatara, Yugavatara, and Shaktiavatara. And one of the incarnations is Gunavatara category. So in this verse it was mentioned, Krishna, like the Gunavatara, the Shiva is also incarnation. Krishna incarnated in the Supreme Lord. He appeared as Brahma, 3 forms. So in this also we can see incarnations. So these are the 6 different types of incarnations, and Shiva Gunavatara is one in that. Krishna appeared as one of the, ignorance is one of the qualities of the three modes, and Krishna appeared as Shiva. Similarly, Krishna appeared as Brahma, Krishna appeared as Vishnu. That is how we understand of the Gunavataras. Now, as mentioned in our previous level, when I was talking about Tattva, when Supreme Lord incarnates, like all like 6 qualities, the Bagavan in the definition, there are 6 qualities, right? All qualities, some other qualities may come in the incarnation, right? Not all 6 will be there in full, but some of the qualities may appear in Shiva as well. When we see one of the Krishna's Bhagavan definition, one of the qualities is renunciation, right? Krishna is the topmost renuncier, right? So he was there all the childhood in the Vrindavan with all the gopis and Yashoda Maya, and once he left Vrindavan, he never returned. Right? That is how there is renunciation we can see. So it's a great he is having that renunciation in full, Krishna. Same way, when we see Shiva appeared, Shiva also renounced, right? He doesn't wear proper clothes, he doesn't have a proper festival. It's not that he doesn't have money to buy those things, right? It is, he doesn't want it, right? He completely renounced quality, we can see. So, when Krishna's qualities, Shiva appeared from Krishna, and Shiva is possessing some qualities, right? So in this case, since Shiva is coming from Krishna, and he is possessing some qualities, so it's in that context, it's so as good as Bhagavan, right? It's not exactly Bhagavan, but he is possessing some qualities of Bhagavan. So that's where Brahma is saying you are Bhagavan. Like example, we can see, you are having some family function, or you are organizing some function, and you invited some big celebrity, or like Prime Minister of Australia. For some reason, he will not come, and he sent someone representative. What you will do? You will give same respect as a Prime Minister to that representative. Because he is coming on behalf of his Prime Minister, you give same kind of respect to that person. Right? Same way, Brahma is glorifying Shiva in that same context. Shiva is coming from Bhagavan, he is having some qualities of Bhagavan. In that context, Brahma is glorifying Shiva as a Bhagavan. Like in few weeks back, I was giving one other shloka from Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava. Like what these meanings is, like mother is, like the meaning is not mother is God or father is God, like Guru is God or Atiti is God. No, as good as mother is, you have to treat as a God. Father, you have to treat as a God. Atiti, you have to treat as a God. Guru, you have to treat the same logic we have. Brahma also is conveying Shiva as a Bhagavan. Right? In that same context. So, it's not exactly Bhagavan, but he's connected to Bhagavan. So, Brahma is calling him as a Bhagavan. That is one example. And if you want to understand this lack of this knowledge, this tattva information about Krishna, like there are many such examples. One example, it is a real thing happened. One of the devotees in our ISKCON, he gave a lecture in YouTube. Okay, it was uploaded into the Hare Krishna channel. And that lecture is about Krishna. Krishna is the Moola source. From his Balaram appears. He was explaining that full lecture. From Balaram, Chaturvyuha, first Chaturvyuha, then Narayan, second Chaturvyuha, then Karnodakashai. So he is giving explaining all the lecture. And many people saw this going through that, listening them properly. But one person from, it was I think Haridwar, came to this person, Prabhu, and said, no, you remove this lecture from media, YouTube. Otherwise I will go to court. Why? Because he is saying that, you are saying that from Krishna, Vishnu is appearing. That he doesn't believe that. So he was saying that, okay, you remove, this is not correct, you remove this video. Then that Prabhu was saying, no, I am speaking as per Bhagavatam. So if you want to challenge it in court, you can take Bhagavatam, I will also come with you. So then after some time, then the Prabhu removed instead of going into creating controversies, the Prabhu removed that video. But the reason is, what is that reason here? Some people, if not knowing Krishna in Tattva, right, Krishna is the Mool Purush, and all incarnations coming from him. This information is missing. Because of this information is not available, people think that Vishnu is different, Krishna is different, Narsingha is different, Varaha is different. Like that, people will have different conception. This is how the if we don't understand in a tattva, this kind of things can happen. So that is one example. And another example is, this is an Ahobilam. There is we know the Ahobilam, Lord Narsinga's temple is there. There is one more deity is there in that Ahobilam, Saranga Narsimha. So the pastime related to this Narsinga Dev is, like Hanuman was doing meditation, Ram, Ram, Ram. Then Narsinga Dev is there. Narsinga Dev is nothing but, so he is the Supreme Lord. He also came as a Rama. Now he came here as a Narsinga Dev. So when Hanuman is chanting Ram, 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 then Narsinga Dev appeared. Okay, tell me, what do you want? Then he said, Hanuman saying, why did you come? I am meditating on Ram. Why? Then Narsinga Dev told, no, I am the Ram. No, Ram I see as a Dhanush. He will wear the Dhanush and bow and arrow. That Ram I wanted. You are not the Ram. Then Narsinga Dev goes and then he will appear with the Dhanush. He take out all the Shankha Chakra, all other things, and he will appear as Ram with the bow and arrow. Then Hanuman is satisfied. So here, it does not mean that this example also, we can see that the Hanuman, the Narsinga Dev, Ram, Supreme Lord, there is no difference. Everything is same. In the sense, the Supreme Lord Krishna is appearing as Narsimha Dev, he is appearing as a Ram. That context, it is the same. But here, Hanuman is not understanding. It's not the lack of tattva for Hanuman. Hanuman knows tattva of this Supreme Lord is there. Supreme Lord is coming as Hanuman. Supreme Lord coming as Narsinga Dev. But he knows that. But his mood, bhava, rasa is different. So that is the difference in this case. But generally people can have this kind of understanding. Lack of bhava and tattva information, they think that both are different. Like even in the same context, so then when Narsinga Dev appeared, the Ram with a bow and arrow, then Hanuman was satisfied. So then he became Saranga Narsimha. That was how the pastime related to an Ahobilam. So in this context, Hanuman is having the tattva information, but his rasa is different. That is how we can understand. So from these examples, we can also see. So people are worshipping Ram, people are worshipping Narsidev, many other incarnations people worshipping. So is it so? When we know that not Moola Purush is Krishna, is it not advisable to meditate on all other forms? As per Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can worship all other incarnations of Krishna. Whichever incarnation you take, you can worship all these incarnations. But with the understanding that source is Krishna. There is you don't see that both are independent. Don't make that independent. These gods are independent from main Krishna. With that understanding, you should not worship. Your understanding should be all are connected. The relation you need to understand. With that relation, you need to worship. Same way, when you worship Shiva also, you need to understand that he is from Krishna, Gunavatara, right? With that understanding, you have to worship. So, if we worship, then we can worship with the way we worship Krishna, we can worship all other incarnations. Now, people may ask, okay, we can worship Lord Shiva as well because he is a Gunavatara, right? So, if you worship Lord Shiva with same without any material desires, again, obviously, we discussed many times, you will get opportunity to grow in bhakti. So, I was listening one of the lectures when that Prabhu was explaining in a humorous way how Lord Shiva, if you are worshipping Lord Shiva without any material desire, what will happen? This is one scenario he was explaining. Like, so you worship Lord Shiva. So you come to the temple here, like ISKCON temple. You see, we are speaking on Bhagavatam, we are glorifying Krishna, and we are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, right? But that person is very much inclined to Om Namah Shivaya, like Lord Shiva. He doesn't have any desires, right? So he will go out, he will start meditating on Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Then finally at the end of the life, he goes to Shiva's abode. Then when he goes there, he see Lord Shiva, all his Nandigana, all other things listening. When Shiva is speaking, glorifying Bhagavatam, he will then all other associates are listening. Then this boy was thinking, okay, I used to listen the same thing in ISKCON temple. And now then Shiva, he tells Shiva, I am interested in chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. But Shiva tells, okay, Om Namah Shivaya brought you here. From here onwards, I will take you to Supreme Lord. So that is how the example, this is one essence. scenario, he was explaining that Prabhu in the lecture how Shiva gives bhakti when you perform Shiva's worship without any material desires. And we also see like Shiva is always chanting Ram, 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 right? But when we go to Shiva and when we worship Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, he feels upset. That Prabhu was explaining another example, how he feel upset. Right? So in the morning, when you do, after undertaking Mangalarti, you do chanting. When you are doing seriously chanting, some devotee comes, Prabhu, I need this help. Something, I was some help. What how feel? Your chanting got disturbed. Maybe you need to help, but you are feeling, oh, my chanting getting disturbed, right? Then what you will do? You will quickly go there and you will help him and then you will come back and you do chanting. Same way, if you are doing, Shiva will be chanting all the time Ram, meditating on Ram, 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 Ram. And if suddenly devotee will go and do abhishek with milk, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, what will happen? Shiva's focus is get distraction. Then what he will say, okay, this guy wants something, I will give then whatever Krishna, the material desire he was asking, he will give and he will come back. And so that is how the Prabhu was explaining how Shiva will be upset if you don't chant Ram, if you don't glorify Supreme Lord. Instead, if you glorify Shiva, how he feels. So these are the two examples to understand that we need to take the essence. Not exactly this will happen, but if I have to understand Shiva's mood, Shiva's nature, Shiva Tattva, this is an example. Because so in previous classes, many devotees mentioned, right? Shiva, the relation between the Supreme Lord Krishna and Shiva. Krishna is a milk and Shiva is a curd, right? Milk can be transformed into curd with any sour item. You put tamarind or something else, lime, few drops of lime. After some time, this will become curd, right? So milk can be converted into yogurt. That is so Krishna, even he is touching the material modes, he will come as Shiva, right? But in vice opposite direction, Shiva cannot become Vishnu, right? Supreme Lord. So that is where the Shiva Tattva is separate and Krishna as a Vishnu Tattva is two different. So the both are connected, but again Shiva cannot become Vishnu. That's where Shiva Tattva is separate. So all the discussions which we had, Krishna, Shiva, about Shiva, with that we can understand the Shiva Tattva. Like, so he will be happy if we all chant Supreme, glorify Supreme Lord. Instead of praising him, we should praise Supreme Lord Krishna, then he will be happy. And now we understand the tattvas of both Krishna and another reason for calling Bagavan. So Brahma is calling Bagavan, right? One reason we understand, right? Since he is coming from Krishna, he is having some of the qualities. So in that when Brahma is saying Krishna is Shiva is a Bagavan, means he is as good as a Bagavan. He is not exactly Bagavan. He is as a respect, he is glorifying him as a Bagavan because he is Krishna's coming from Krishna and he is having similar qualities. Another one, anything connected to Krishna also, we can call it as a Bhagavan. Like, see, Srimad Bhagavatam is there. It is connected. It was the pastimes of Krishna. So it was Bhagavat Puran. Right? Gita, Bhagavad Gita. Right? Similarly, anything which connected to Krishna, sometimes it's a practice to connect with the Bhagavan and call them. Right? Similarly, Shiva is also connected to Krishna. So in that context, it is a Bhagavan. So now we understand the tattva of many things, Krishna. But now, get understanding it, we saw the example of Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, right? How he the realization, right? But we listen so many things. But our realization, we don't get realization that easily, right? We get the knowledge, but having the realization means understanding the knowledge and applying in our life. That is the realization. That is very hard. How we can get the realization? That basic thing is, it's a basic, more Prabhupada clearly mentioned that chanting the holy name. That is one of the important thing to purify our consciousness. But just chanting the holy name without knowing the essence, why we are doing, it will not give you the result quickly. Right? You need to understand why we are doing the chanting, in what way it transforms. So for that, what is required? We need to see Srimad Bhagavatam. all the scriptures. Right? When we know the Srimad Bhagavatam, what will happen? We know from the Srimad Bhagavatam, from various past times, how different devotees performed the chanting of the holy name, how they got benefited. With that conviction, we do more serious. So, reading the Srimad Bhagavatam is important. That's the reason, like Prabhupada mentioned that when we read when in the Srimad Bhagavatam class, when we read verses, recite the verse, right? So, when everybody recites loudly, that is the point where purification starts. So, that's the reason Prabhupada recommends 3 times do chanting. So, we request all, we have to actually, in ideal case, all the devotees should come and present in the class and they recite the verse like minimum 3 times, so that the purification starts from there. But in general, because of various reasons, we delay the coming to the class. Sometimes we come at the end of the class, or sometimes we just, when the pastime is happening, we attend the class. But that is not, we should stay from the beginning and we should recite the verses. That is the first point to start our purification. And another important thing is, listening Srimad Bhagavatam, Harikatha, right? It is not easy thing. It's a rare thing. Now, it is a rare? Listening Harikatha, listening Srimad Bhagavatam is a very rare item. Why? Because if you see, old Sydney, how much is the population? 5 million plus, right? In that, if you see that this suburb, how many roughly? I think 50,000-60,000 will be there, right? How many from 5 million we come to 70,000, and 70,000 now? If you see this temple area, how many people are sitting and listening Harikatha? Of course, some devotees listening online through various medias. Yes, that is also good. So, hardly maybe 40, 50 people might be listening out of some millions of people. What is the reason? That is the trick. It is very rare. Not everybody will have opportunity to listen Srimad Bhagavatam. It is not either. People may think that, okay, I don't have a time, because of that I am not coming. Or you attending the Bhagavatam may think that, okay, since I have a desire to, I am sitting here, I am attending. But you are not the only reason. The behind is Krishna's mercy. Because of Krishna's mercy, Krishna inspired you to attend the Bhagavatam class today. So that's why you all are here. So that is why Krishna's mercy has to be there. Then only you will be able to listen Harikatha. Same thing. Like it was also in Padma Purana, it was mentioned. After koti janma, like after some millions of births, your pious activities accumulated, then only you will be eligible to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can understand, we are listening Srimad Bhagavatam here, means in our previous koti janma, we did some pious activities. When that is accumulated, reach particular number, then you are able to listen Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is how we can understand. It's not easy. Everybody can understand Srimad. People are not attending, means they don't have a required mercy from Krishna. Because of that, they are not able to attend. So this is the important thing we need to understand in relation to understand reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is very important. When we read Srimad Bhagavatam, that will purify our consciousness. Then we will be able to chant Harikatha and chant holy name. That will help us to understand Krishna, who is Krishna in Tattvata. Then we can understand the difference between Krishna and Shiva, and we can understand who is Bagavan. All these things will come in line. So I will conclude here. So there are multiple points in the purport, but we don't have time now, so we can stop here. Any comment? Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, if we refer to text 33 and 34,
yes.
It's mentioned that Lord Shiva is not angry, but he is grave and saintly. Whereas if we refer to a couple of texts before 41, Lord Brahma was smiling as he was scared. He was actually afraid. But on one end it's mentioned that he's not at all angry. But as you mentioned, the title itself, Brahma satisfied Lord Shiva. So how do we understand?
So, Prabhu, when we need to understand the pastime, like when Sati committed suicide, when he got to know from Narada, that time he got angry. And he sent Veerabhadra, he destroyed everything, right? That was the angry time, that was the time when he got angry. Then after that, Shiva left the place, he went to Kailas. Now, these demigods went to Brahma, they don't know what is the mood of Shiva, right? Because they know only Shiva got angry and he did all this destruction with Virabhadra. Now what is his mood? They don't understand. They don't know. They don't have any idea what is the mood of Shiva. So but after some time, Shiva got, he could overcome his anger, and then he was in a grave and like saintly and grave. That's what the word it was mentioned, right? So he was having sorrow, but at the time again, because he's a Vaishnava, right? Vaishnava quality is exhibiting. The anger he got at the moment, at the time, but after that he was fine. Fine in the sense he is not having the anger. But these people, when you see, they don't know what is the mood of Shiva unless they reach Kailash and seek Shiva, right? That's how we can understand. So when he saw, he was grave and saintly. That was the word in a few weeks back we saw that. So now, the Brahma is trying to please him, to make him happy, so that he will get all the required boons, whatever is required for the demigods. That's how the whole story is connected, right, Prabhu?
So you talk about Tattva Prabhu, like if we refer to this particular text, Lord Brahma is referring to Lord Shiva as Sadashiva in saying that he's the creator, maintainer, and annihilator. Is that the angle he was actually trying to...
See, like, one is like, see, when from Brahma got angry, like when the four Kumaras were not agreeing to create the progeny, like that time the Rudra, she came, right? Shiva appeared. That Shiva is doing the annihilation, right? Other thing, creation time, Shiva is helping, right? When Mahavishnu glancing the Pradhana, that is where the Vishnu is not interacting with the material world. Shiva comes and interact with the Maya, right? Yoga Maya, then Maya Devi, then all the living entities were impregnated. That is another. So, in all these hands, in the material point of view, so he is helping Krishna, right, in creating this material world. In that context, we can see, so he is helping, his hand is there in creation as well. That you have to see. But overall, always supreme controller is Krishna. That we need to remember. That is what the Tattva understanding. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।